So here's our first sage. This is white sage. The leaves get 1 to 4 inches long, broad, slightly fuzzy to the touch. Very interesting aroma, very unique aroma. It's actually related to the mint. It's in the mint family. And as far as sage as a whole, it originally comes from a Latin word. It's the salvia family, and comes from a Latin word that means to basically feel well, healthy, and healing. And that's definitely appropriate adjectives for this plant, as well as the other ones and the other sages that we'll speak about. This one in particular, the flowers will come up white with a little bit of purple, and they're really tasty on salads and whatnot. You'll find these generally along slopes, dry slopes, generally preferring gravelly soil, often in the chaparral communities here in the California area. Seeds can also be eaten. There's not any seeds on this one anymore, but you can see that's what's left of one of the little whorls on this plant. We'll try to take some pictures of some other ones so that you can get an idea what those look like. You can eat flowers, eat the seeds. The leaves make a great tea. My favorite tea for when I have a cold. A little bit of honey is really tasty. It's antiseptic, astringent, and anti-inflammatory. So again, lots of healing properties with this plant. Used externally to treat sprains, swelling, ulcers, bleeding. Internally used to treat sores, sores in the throat. Different types, if you have a cough, it works really good to calm the cough. And used by either gargling or as a tea. It's also been said that the black sage in particular, but the sage family as a whole, decocted, can be used for arthritic feet. Also, you may be familiar with smudging. That's what often the Native Americans would do to bless and clean different locations. And basically you take these leaves, bundle them up and dry them, and then burn them. And it makes a really interesting smell, and it's supposed to be really healing. Also, people will dry this and put it in their tobacco to smoke it. And again, getting the medicinal properties direct to the lungs. So one of my favorite plants. Good example of black sage, and again, similar medicinal properties: antiseptic, astringent, anti-inflammatory. Here's what the whorls look like where the seeds come out of, and maybe pick out those holes right there. They come out right there. That's where the flowers come out. Black sage is, in my opinion, pretty harsh, bitter. But a lot of people do like it and use it, so I guess to taste. But leaves up to a little over 3 inches in length, bumpy to the touch. You can see some of that. And on the bottom side, it's a really interesting leaf structure. Let's see if I can get that to focus for you guys. You can see that. I'll take some still pictures as well for you, but again, a very unique smelling plant. So once you recognize it and get to know it, you'll find it very often along dry slopes. And that is the black sage. any California sagebrush growing these days, or at least green. You can see this is irrigated, and it's the only one I've been able to find, and I've been searching quite a bit. But this is the California sagebrush. So it's actually in the Artemisia family. It's not a salvia. However, it has very similar medicinal and edible properties. And I've already spoke about those. Hairless on the stems, really kind of interesting leaf structure, really thin, so you can tell. It's usually an indication of it grows in low water areas. So again, dry soil climate environment. Really interesting smell to it. Actually makes really good skewers. I like it with my fish. Skewering fish is really tasty. And you'll also hear this called cowboy cologne, because it does again have a very unique pungent smell like the rest of the sage groupings, and is pretty nice. I would prefer this over the black sage from a taste perspective.